My son, when he was little, was a very serious child, but with a very dry sense of humor. Also incredibly curious. He would analyze things, everything he had to know more about. So he was very adventurous in that way. He did very well in school up until middle school, where he started to lose interest in how he was being taught. What caused the shift in his interest in school was when testing became more a part of his school experience, he started to fade out a little bit. He felt like he was just memorizing things that weren't particularly important to him. And he just kind of checked out. He didn't respond well to school where you memorize and then take a test. My son kind of communicated to us that school wasn't working for him, and we took it upon ourselves to try and find an alternative. My wife came across your website and we showed it to him, and he was interested. So that was encouraging. He then attended for a day. When he was done with that, he came up to me incredibly excited, so excited about something relating to school than I'd ever seen him, to be honest. That's when we decided to move forward and apply. It was almost like enlightenment, where this is what I've been looking for. And I have to admit that my wife and I as well were like, this is the type of thing that we wanted for him. During the application process, just how attentive the staff was, how transparent they were, how easy they made it, how Grayson felt after his initial interview, and then just the whole enrollment process, tuition, start dates, expectations, all of that. I think with each step, we started to feel more and more comfortable with the decision we made. The idea that he can do things that he's interested in and somehow incorporate that into his education is really starting to sink in now. At first, we were talking to him, what kind of projects do you want to do? Like, what do you think your first project's going to be? And he's just, I don't know. I have some ideas, but I just don't know. And he was throwing them out to Brandy one day, and just on a whim said, well, I'm working on this thing where I do this, this, and this. And she said, that's a project. You could do that for a project. And he just couldn't believe it. He was like, that's a project? Like, I could really do that, And that's when I think I really started to see a shift in him, and where he suddenly realized that he had much more control over his education. This really does better prepare him for college, because I think one of the big fallbacks of going from a traditional high school into college is that the students are first hit with that independence then, where they're in control of their destiny, so to speak. My son being able to get used to that now, and he controls, his education, that when he makes the transition to college, it won't be this alien thing to him. It'll be something that he's used to. It'll be the norm. I think that's really important. And then, of course, when he makes a transition from college to a workplace where things are project-based, I know my job is very project-based, and he'll be ready. He'll be much better prepared for the future, I think. I'm particularly impressed with the staff. I'm very happy about how transparent everything is, that parents and students too have a voice. They have a say in how things are done. And the feedback that we're allowed to give is very liberating. Everybody on the staff is so enthusiastic, and they're so passionate about what they're doing that it's almost contagious. The responsiveness of the staff is really incredible. We've been in contact with some amazing people, dynamic people, who give me a lot of confidence that we made the right decision. To me, this is the way school should be. There's no question that Sora is going to prepare my son for the future like no traditional school can. So if your child is struggling in traditional school, you owe it to yourself and to your child to look into alternatives like Sora.